Right now at noon, Dane County Sheriff's officials have found cash donations that were thought to be missing from the Henry Vila Zoo are accounted for. And Trump administration officials plan to brief Congress on the airstrike that killed Iran's top general.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in today. We start with breaking news from the Channel 3000 Alert Center. The Dane County Sheriff's Office has concluded its investigation into what was thought to be missing donation money at the Henry Vila Zoo. They found no criminal activity from any of the Zoological Society employees, and all of the money has been accounted for. The investigation started in November. There was concern raised by staff members that from 2011 to 2016, cash donations from donor tubes at sites around the zoo were missing. The Zoological Society that parted ways with the zoo last year managed the donation money at that time, and they are asking their sheriff's office what exactly happened with the money. And we'll have more tonight on News 3 Now. Later newscast, that is. Let's start now over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has a look at your first alert forecast. Some cold weather coming.
Yeah, a cold front is passing through the state today, bringing with it a few flurries off to our south and west. So portions of southwestern Wisconsin could pick up a little bit in the way of snowflake activity this afternoon. I think most of the activity does stay to the west of Madison, and we're seeing most of that take place right now, a little bit closer to La Crosse, and some flurries starting to pop up in Grant County. But in Madison, we're seeing sunny skies on the WISC-TV Skycam. Temperatures are in the upper 30s in Madison, Watertown, and Janesville, 35 in Monroe, a little bit cooler in Viroqua and La Crosse, where temperatures are near the freezing mark. So your day planner, temperatures will fall through the 30s tonight, and after that cold front passes us, our temperatures are going to drop quite quickly, in fact, into the single digits to start off tomorrow morning. Could be feeling a little bit closer to 0 degrees with that wind chill. So we'll talk about the colder weather to start us off Wednesday, and an active weather period on the way in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Dave. New at noon, Madison police are reviewing surveillance video to see if they can find who was shooting in the Warner Park Beach area. Officers found 7 bullet casings in the parking lot there. Yesterday morning, a witness reported seeing multiple cars speeding away from the scene. U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin says that she will vote for President Trump's revamped North American Free Trade Agreement. She said in a statement that the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement fell short, but she supports improvements House Democrats made to the pact. She said the deal increases market access for Wisconsin dairy farmers and cheesemakers. The Republican-controlled state legislature is asking a federal court to dismiss a lawsuit to prevent hundreds of thousands of voters from being removed from the rolls. Up to 209,000 registered voters could be purged ahead of the 2020 presidential election, where Wisconsin is a key battleground state. The legislature's attorneys asked to at least put the lawsuit on hold, while a separate case seeking to remove voters works its way through the courts. The Trump administration is set to brief congressional leaders later today on the U.S. airstrike that killed Iran's top general, Qasem Soleimani. Iran's foreign minister tells CBS News his country will hit legitimate targets in response. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo defended the Trump administration's airstrike that killed Iran's military leader, Qasem Soleimani.
It's the right decision. We got it right.
Pompeo is expected to brief congressional leaders later today, along with Defense Secretary Mark Esper, on the intelligence that led to the strike.
Anytime a president makes a decision of this magnitude, there are multiple pieces of information that come before us. We presented that to him in all its broad detail.
Democratic lawmakers question the urgency of the attack and want to know the administration's strategy going forward.
The American people need clarity that the Trump administration has a plan.
The U.S. is bracing for retaliation. The administration sent a warning today to ships in Mideast waterways of possible Iranian action against U.S. interests. Iran's foreign minister calls Soleimani's killing a, quote, cowardly terrorist operation and tells CBS News' Elizabeth Palmer his country will respond when it chooses.
When we take action, it won't be disproportionate. That is what we will do, and we will do it not in a cowardly way, but in a clear and proportionate way.
Zarif would not elaborate on what Iran considers legitimate targets. As thousands of mourners gathered in Soleimani's hometown for his funeral procession, a stampede broke out, killing dozens and injuring hundreds. The violence forced his funeral to be delayed. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And Iran's president passed a bill designating the U.S. military command as terrorist. The move follows President Trump's declaration of Iran's Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization in April. The U.S. Defense Department used that designation to support the strike that killed Soleimani. Puerto Rico's governor has declared a state of emergency after 2 days of powerful earthquakes. The latest struck just before dawn as a magnitude 6.4, cutting power to the entire island. Near the quake's epicenter, at least one person is reported dead. FEMA officials say they have 2,300 staff members there ready to support the island territory with recovery efforts. So far, 24 people have died in the worst wildfires Australia has seen in decades. Thousands of homes have been destroyed. State and federal authorities are struggling to contain the fire, even with the help from other countries, including the U.S. 24 people have been arrested and charged with starting brush fires in the past 2 months. The fires are made worse by persistent heat and drought, leading many to point to climate change as a factor making natural disasters go from bad to worse. A Milwaukee furniture maker wants to give the ultimate Packers fan the ultimate Packers piece. One very famous Packers fan, that is. The sofa, custom made all the way, was made with superstar rapper and Packers superfan Lil Wayne. It took Gibb Fortune of Milwaukee 2 days to make, including the stitching, bottle space, the LED lights. Fortune got the idea after Lil Wayne posted a video to Instagram showing off his Packers memorabilia.
When I saw him on Instagram, I was like, I want to make him a sofa, you know, to celebrate his love for the Packers. I know he'll fall in love with this sofa because it's one of its kind and he'll be the only person in the world with it.
Gibb is taking the couch up to Lambeau to do some tailgating this weekend for the Packers-Seahawks game. He'll try to contact Lil Wayne over social media to give him the couch or hopes he runs into him in person. Well, the craft store on Madison's west side will close in the coming months. According to a Facebook post, the Madison Craft Market will close by the end of April. They lost their lease due to the redevelopment of Westgate Mall. That lost its major retailer, TJ Maxx, back in May. The craft store has been in business for 30 years. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard is working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Looking for a way to warm up from the inside out? Well, look no more. Why don't you grab yourself a fork, and I'll meet you right back here. This is the time of year when we need a cozy warm-me-up stew more than ever. That's why I'm sharing a hearty chicken version with you rather than a traditional beef one. So what do you say we stop talking and start cooking? We start by placing a whole chicken that we've cut into eighths into a soup pot, along with some potatoes that we've quartered, a chopped onion, a good amount of water, a can each of tomatoes, and creamed corn, a bit of rice, and a few spices. After we bring everything to a boil, we let it simmer until the chicken is almost fall apart tender. Then we slowly stir in a bit of heavy cream and a handful of fresh spinach, and in minutes, it's done. It's so easy, you might feel a little guilty when you're getting all those rave reviews. And whether you serve this from the pot or put out a big bowl of it, get ready for some good eating and dunking. Between the tender chicken, the hearty veggies, and the rich sauce, this dish will warm you up through and through. To get the recipe for what we call our wintry chicken stew, check out our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a comfy, cozy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Next at noon, the weather takes a cold turn tonight. We have a chance of flurries overnight and wind chills near 0 tomorrow morning. Dave has all the details next in your first alert forecast.
If your home is
Well, the first non-U.S. Tesla plant has started production today in Shanghai, China. The plant will be manufacturing the Model 3 vehicles, and the first of these vehicles available to the public rolled off the production line today. Another dairy producer is filing for bankruptcy, plus Uber is teaming up with Hyundai to build flying taxis. Diane King Hall has your Money Watch report.
The U.S. trade deficit fell to the lowest level in 3 years in November. According to the Commerce Department, the imbalance between exports and imports shrank to $43.1 billion. If the downtrend continues, the country could log an annual decline, which would be its first since 2013. Another dairy giant is bankrupt. Borden Dairy filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on Sunday. It is the second milk producer to seek bankruptcy in as many months. Falling milk consumption contributed to sagging sales for the company. Hyundai and Uber are teaming up for the sky-high mission of building a fleet of flying taxis. The big reveal was made at CES in Las Vegas Monday. The all-electric Uber Air taxi will initially be piloted, then eventually will be autonomous. Flight demonstrations are expected this year, and commercial use may begin in 2023. First, there was the Impossible Burger. Now there's Impossible Pork and Sausage. The plant-based meat substitute just made its debut at CES in Las Vegas, the only new food debut at the predominantly tech show. Burger King will offer the Impossible Croissant, which later this month in test markets. It uses a plant-based sausage patty, but it will also come with egg and cheese, so it's not vegan-friendly. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 105 points. The NASDAQ up almost 15. The S&P 500 down 666. Q106 Farm Director Pam Bianchi out of the radio barn today. So here are your farm numbers. Dave is standing by with the weather. We are not out of the winter woods yet.
No, we are looking at some temperatures finally getting a little bit closer to normal for this time of year, and a cold front on the way right now that could provide some of us with some flurries later this afternoon. And also it will cool us down tomorrow. We're off to a cold start to the day, with it feeling like 0 degrees or maybe a little bit below that in some spots early Wednesday morning. We'll be windy with rain on Thursday as we take a look at the 3 things to know and active weather after some really quiet periods in the weather office. The active weather does return for this weekend and into next week. Some slightly active weather just off to the west. This cold front coming through is sparking some flurries close to the Minnesota-Wisconsin state line, and a few snowflakes trying to form across portions of southwestern Wisconsin. I think much of the flurry activity does stay west of Madison this afternoon. And don't be surprised, though, if we do see a few snowflakes make their way closer to Dane County. Right now, though, a lot of sunshine in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, and temperatures already in the upper 30s. West wind at 10 miles per hour is making it feel a little bit more like 30 degrees, but wind chills could be below 0 as we wake up tomorrow morning. Our snow chances are really not all that promising over the next 48 hours or so. I think we're completely dry on Wednesday. Again, a few flurries can't be ruled out later this afternoon, but then our snow chances and rain chances start to go up a bit as we get into Thursday. I think the mode of precipitation for our first round of weather on Thursday will be mostly rain, but then as we get closer to the weekend, some chances for snow are in the forecast. And also in the forecast, finally, for the first time this winter, our first taste of below normal highs. Now, it won't be below normal by much, and we actually could end up being a little bit warmer than that on Wednesday, but really we've seen above normal temperatures every day this winter for the past 2.5 weeks or so. I think we'll be above normal as opposed to below below normal more often than not, I should say. But it does look like as we get closer to the middle of the month that some cold weather tries to settle in to southern Wisconsin. Again, a few snowflakes can't be ruled out as we take a look at future track later this afternoon, but we should be mostly clear as we start off tomorrow with temperatures in the single digits in Madison, the teens in some other spots, but feeling closer to 0 outside. A few more clouds filter in by Wednesday afternoon with highs in the teens and 20s. And then Thursday, before the rain comes in later, we will be quite mild. In fact, that southerly wind ahead of that system helps us get into the 30s by the morning hours of Wednesday and Thursday, I should say. Wednesday is what we're looking at right now. This is what it could feel like tomorrow morning. So -5 in Madison, 0 in Monroe, and feeling like 1 lonely degree in Janesville. It is winter after all. Just be prepared for a cold start to the day tomorrow and a little bit on the breezy side as well. So for the 10-day forecast, looking at mild conditions on Thursday. So I think we'll see rain mostly, but a few snowflakes may try and mix in at night. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have some semblance of snow chances in there. Not really looking like a lot at all in terms of accumulation, and really not major impacts expected here, but we do need to keep an eye on the tracks of those systems this weekend because they're still a little bit uncertain. Into next week, the active weather continues with temperatures in the 30s Monday and Tuesday and the 20s Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, keep an eye on things for the weekend.
Yep.
All right, Dave, thank you. Next at noon, a newly published study shows how artificial intelligence can help detect and treat brain tumors. We'll look at how it works coming up.
News.
Well, surgeons are experimenting with using artificial intelligence for a more precise brain tumor diagnosis during surgery. Jeff Lennox has the story.
Medical professionals hoping new cutting-edge technology will help neurosurgeons during operations in removing brain tumors.
This is really the first time that we've brought artificial intelligence into the operating room, so it's a very exciting study.
Doctors with the University of Miami Sylvester Cancer Center, New York University, and University of Michigan published on Monday a new study offering a more precise way in diagnosing brain tumors during surgery.
But it provides us with a faster diagnosis as well as a more accurate diagnosis. So we can make decisions during the surgery sooner.
Through the use of artificial intelligence, the new imaging technique reveals tumor infiltration in human tissue by collecting scattered laser light that illuminates essential features not typically seen.
And now with this new technique, we could get that answer in just a few minutes, almost instantaneously. And with artificial intelligence, we've been able to get the results with almost 95% accuracy.
By providing results within minutes, the method gives neurosurgeons more precision in completely removing cancerous brain tumors. It also helps inform the surgeon with more rapid and frequent information, ensuring the area of interest is 100% cancer-free.
In the few patients where we're really uncertain what we're going to be doing, then it has a major impact on either preventing further surgery that's unnecessary or guiding us to the right location.
The traditional methods usually require 20 to 30 minutes to yield results. With the breakthrough procedure, doctors will be able to make critical decisions during safe and effective brain tumor surgery in much less time.
So it will shorten the time of surgery and make the surgery even more safe for our patients.
Even though this technique is still in its trial phase, the game-changing technology is an exciting step forward in the management of brain tumors.
And researchers say if approved, the artificial intelligence technology could also be used in other kinds of surgery. They expect the expert analysis could be useful in faster analysis of other kinds of tumors in the future. Here's Dave with one final check of the forecast.
We do have some flurries off to the west of Madison, and some clouds are on the increase as well. Doppler track is showing the main area of snow is well off to the north and west, but don't be surprised if we see a few flakes flying closer to Madison this afternoon. Be partly sunny with temperatures in the upper 30s for highs. We'll be in the 20s tomorrow, off to a cold start, feeling like below zero in some spots, but mild again on Thursday with some rain. Active weather returning this weekend.
All right, we're not used to the cold. Bundle up. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock in the meet.